So welcome. We're going to talk about how to win with Google local services. My name is Ratna Ramakrishnan. So I need your attention because if you're a remodeling contractor or in the home services niche, and you're really serious about getting better results online and maximizing your effectiveness with Google local services, the next 60 minutes will be a game changer for you. What we will cover today, what Google local services is, where it's active, how it works, how you can jump on board if you have not already, and what it takes to rank in the top 3 results. And of course, how you can take advantage of high quality leads at a low cost per lead and maximize your return on investment to truly win in the local services ads. A little bit about me and why you should listen to me. I started a children's education business here in the Silicon Valley 10 years ago. It's called Brain Wine, provides Lego robotics and financial literacy programs for children throughout the Bay Area. And if you're a parent or you're familiar with summer programs, it's a very highly competitive niche. And so 10 years ago, when I started my education business, I pulled my first website on Wix. And then I started teaching myself everything there is out there with respect to generating leads online. In the first 2 years, I was able to hit $1 million in revenue. And now the business is 7 figures. I have a team that runs the business. But along the way, what happened was I was talking to other business owners and they kept asking me, how did you scale your business? How are you so successful in getting your programs into so many cities? Like, what are you doing? And when I stepped back and I really looked at what I was doing, it was basically the fact that I had paid a lot of attention to the Google search algorithm, and I had made sure that there was SEO, the local services ads, the Google ads, the being found online piece for the business was something that I had really cared about and worked hard at. And so slowly I would meet other business owners and I started helping a variety of businesses. So I've served over 20 different niches. And along the way, I realized that I am able to get the best results for people that are local services like home services. And so I have niched down my agency where I became a Grow with Google partner. And what a Grow with Google partner is somebody that has a direct liaison into the Grow with Google team that is headquartered here in Mountain View, California. So if you have a Google business profile that's not displaying the way you want it to be, there's questions that you have, I really have the ability to connect with the Google team in Mountain View to be able to solve problems, because that was something that I realized was a big friction point for many business owners. So I became a Grow with Google partner about 7 years ago, and then niched down my agency where I decided that I was going to work exclusively. So all my clients on my roster are home services, remodeling services, contractors, general contractors. And so I'm a member of NARI, I'm a member of NKBA, and my goal is to help 100 remodeling contractors, businesses, unbox the true potential of your business using data-driven strategies, right? You just don't want to be shooting in the dark with the feeling of maybe I should run Google search ads, maybe I should do a little bit of Facebook ads, maybe I need to post more on social media. There need not be any guesswork. It's really simple to put together a solid plan and hit the road running. So through my process of growing my education business, I have come up with what I call the digital dominance method. Every business has the ability to dominate the market that you want to be in, where you're lucrative, where you're able to get those flow of calls, those leads for maximum profitability. The thing though is it entails a lot of steps. So if we take your business and put it right in the heart of this entire methodology, the first thing is your business needs a website. It needs strong copy. It should have good backlinks, reputation management. I'm sure you've heard all of this if you've been in business and you've considered or you've spent money on any digital marketing. The second step is your Google business profile. The business profile needs to be optimized. So you land on Google Maps, and when people look for you, they find you when they search for a handyman near me or a remodeler near me or kitchen remodeler near me. That's how you're going to show up. And so you want to have a strategy for Google Maps. And the next thing is where the AdWords, the local services ads, if you want to go more deep, you can do Bing ads, Yahoo ads. And then you can go into the paid online directories like Angie's List and House, and depending on your goals for yourself, your revenue targets. Then of course you can do a whole bunch of social media stuff, collect email addresses from all of these efforts, have an email marketing campaign. You can dive further into like Nari, NKBA, where you form those relationships and you get those referrals. Then once you have your social media presence, you can actually start marketing on social media, where you can run YouTube ads, Facebook ads. And then once you have a well-established database of clients, you can have a referral program, you can do a gift card program. So if you look at this entire process, it's a circle. Digital marketing is not something where you tell yourself, okay, it's 2023, the first 3 months, I'm going to try something and then see what it does for me. It is a concerted effort where you pick the 1 or 2 things that work for you, do more of it, try one more new strategy. If it doesn't work, cut it back, do more of what's working. But it's a cycle, because you have to do it over and over again. It's not something that you wake up and you choose to do for a couple of months and then you slack off. If you commit to investing in your business in some shape or form for digital marketing based on what your revenue goals are at, you are definitely going to get those steady stream of leads, especially if you're focusing on Google. So that's where this digital dominance method comes from. And based on if you're at a $1.5 million in revenue or $5 million in revenue, I can give you a cookie cutter formula as to what you can take and apply to your business to go to the next year of revenue targets based on what your goals are. So let's dive into what is Google Local Services, right? If you go and search for handyman near me, general contractor near me, it's going to show these top 3 businesses that Google has chosen based on its algorithm to show as Google guaranteed. And if you notice, it's a separate panel that shows on the top of a search page. And it actually has a green check mark and says Google guaranteed, because there is an entire process of getting to be Google guaranteed. And this is where within this platform, you're able to go ahead and run your local services ads. So what you're looking at here is a search ad, which is generic lead generation, but this is a specific local services ad, which is available for a local market, provided you have done the necessary steps and you have claimed the Google guarantee. So if you look at this first example here, this business that's showing up as Google guaranteed, if I click on it, what it enables is that Google has guaranteed it, and it says, get it done right, or if not, Google pays you back. That's what Google's promising, where if the lead is not high quality, Google will refund your lead money. If the lead is not happy with the services provided, Google will refund the money, right? So it's a win-win situation where if you set it up and you drive it well, you can get those high quality leads, get those verified reviews, and then you're going to be unstoppable in terms of where you're landing on the search page. So when you click on this ad, immediately it goes to a call option. And the beauty of this call option is that Google has built out a platform where this call is recorded. And so you're able to actually listen to the call and see if it is somebody trying to sell you insurance or somebody trying to sell you some drafting services or interior design services. And it's not something that's really a lead. There is an option for you to just say, this is not a lead, and get your money back into your account. Similarly, if it is a valid lead, you're going to have the entire recording for your team member to come in, listen to it, book an appointment, and then validate that it is a qualified lead. So why does this matter? 87% of consumers go to Google. They go to a Google search page when looking for home service providers. And it is the #1 place your customers are looking when they need your services, right? They are going and defaulting to social proof. So if you've claimed your Google business profile, your Google guaranteed, and you have a good process of managing your Google leads that are coming in through the local services ads, you're going to be unstoppable in your market. So local services ads, like I showed you, come up first, right, on the very top of the page. And there is no higher intent prospect than a customer who's proactively looking for you, right? You can run an ad and then keep showing your ad where you're pushing your ad into somebody's feed like Facebook or on search when they're trying to buy a pair of shoes, you're talking about your services, versus somebody that's actually in the mood looking for a kitchen remodeler, a bathroom remodeler, a specific pain point that they are trying to solve, and bam, you show up on the top of as one of the three choices. It's always going to be a win-win situation. So therefore you must have a plan to win with Google local services. And if you kind of step back and look at why Google's doing this, it's because Google's a data company, right? They want really high quality data sitting on their search page. They don't want fake businesses. They don't want fake addresses. They don't want people that take people's money and scam them. Therefore, by guaranteeing that you are indeed an honest business owner with hopes and dreams, with revenue goals, with the team, they verify you, they give you the green check mark. It's a win-win for Google. Now, Google has the highest quality data. So anytime there's a homeowner, how do we function today when we want to go search for something? You feel in the mood to like go eat some Mexican food, you're going to go search for Mexican restaurant near me. We're just so wired now to go to Google search. And therefore, if you have guaranteed your business on Google, that's where it gives you a clear edge compared to your competitors. Where is it active? It's active all over the US. And Google initially just rolled it out to a few of the niches, and over time, it's available for every niche. So it's just a matter of going through the steps, which can feel a little tedious, but once you get it done, you're good to go. And then you can determine what your ad spend is. And I'm going to go into more details about how you can manage your ad spend and how you can make sure that you're not losing money on a poor lead, and how, in fact, if you do it well, you're going to be unstoppable in your local market. So how it impacts search results. Now that I've talked to you about Google Guaranteed, what's going to happen is every time you go and you search for something, your eyes are naturally going to see the Google Guaranteed check mark. Probably it hasn't caught your eye yet. But the thing is, when you're really in the mode of searching for a service, you're instantly going to be drawn to the Google Guaranteed check mark. So the Google, by choice, has made a decision because they determine the flow of the search page or the anatomy of a search page. They have determined that they're going to put the Google Guaranteed as prime on the very top. Next come the Google Ads. Next comes the Google Business Profile. So if you've been in business for any number of years, you're qualified to go ahead and claim your Google Business Profile. Just claiming your Google Business Profile is not enough. You need to have a plan in place where you're posting regular content. So you're teaching the Google algorithm who you are, who you serve, the kind of leads that you're looking for, as well as have a strategy to collect reviews from your raving fans on the Google Business Profile. And so if you look at this example here, this home quality remodeling, they are Google Guaranteed, they're running Google Ads, and they probably have done their SEO, and they have close to 100 reviews. That's it. They're going to be unstoppable in that specific zip code, the geography that they're trying to serve. So again, let's step back and look at the anatomy of a search page, is the guaranteed ads. Then there is the Google Ads, which is called the search ads. Then comes the Google Business Profile. There's only room for 3 to 4. In fact, Google calls it a 3-pack. They only want to show 3 top businesses, and it's very easy for every business to rank in that 3-pack, provided you have a plan in place for content, you have a plan in place for reviews, and you're willing to invest a tad bit in advertising. Even without advertising, if you have a plan in place for content and reviews, you can rank in that 3-pack. After the 3-pack comes the businesses that are spending money on SEO. Who is showing up first? Yelp is showing up first. And this is where businesses like you and I really are stuck in a competition, because if you think about the home services, there's Yelp, there's Angie's List, there's Home Advisor, there's House. So if I actually had the entire page that you could view, you'd see that all of these top lead generation sources for home services are ranking in the SEO. Then the business that has done, some high quality SEO will show up. And again, Google bookends its search pages with more ads, because at the end of the day, Google is a business like you and I. And so on the top, they have the ads. On the bottom, they have the ads. So the top is reserved for the local services ads, right below which are the search ads. But again, the bottom is bookended with search ads. And then, based on how much SEO you've done, you're likely going to be in page 2 or 3. Or if you've never thought about SEO, you're probably on page 50 or page 60. Nobody's ever going to find you, which is where this Google guarantee gives you that instant ability to land on the top of the page. So you get more eyeballs, you get more high quality leads that can convert into revenue for you. So how Google Local Services works, if you've never done this before, you must complete a local services application form, and Google will run a background check on you and your employees. There's a license check, this background. They use a standard company called Pinkerton Consulting. They'll make sure that your insurance is valid, you have a license, and then business owners and all technicians must complete a background check. So within reason, they look at your revenue numbers and they'll say, okay, for the size of this business, you're likely to have this many employees. Google respects the fact that there's turnover, there's team changes. So you're not going to be hassled with, submitting background checks all the time. But the initial process is a step-by-step process where you have to go through it and you have to report your employees. Mainly the business owner should clear the background check, should have a license, should have been in business and show good insurance, liability insurance that you're carrying. Once approved, if active in your area is no longer even a need, it's active in all the areas, you will simply pay on a pay per lead basis. And I've seen between $25 to $45 per lead, but those cost per lead can just shift based on the city, the time of the day searches. But the beauty of Google Local Services is that you can say, I am only interested in spending $2,000 a month or $1,000 a month, whatever the budget is. You pick a number out of a hat. You test what works for you. You figure out what your cost per lead lands at. And if it's not something that suits your needs, you can turn it off, you can up the budget. But if you're Google guaranteed, at least you have the opportunity to go ahead and play in the local services space. And so the price will vary by city and industry. So how are you charged for local services? So here's an example. Let's say you set a weekly budget that limits the total number of leads you receive in any given week. So let's say you have $2,000 a month that you want to invest in local services ads. And that's $500 a week, $71 a day. And let's say after you just run it for a week, your cost per lead lands up at $35 a lead. So which means you're going to get about 57 leads per month, which is 14 leads per week, 2 leads per day. Right? Is that manageable? For sure. 2 leads per day is manageable because you can't just get the leads and not act on them. Right? It's a complete process that Google wants to make sure that the lead that came into your universe is either completed as a project and gives you a verified review or is not qualified and then falls off your roster. The cool thing is once the weekly budget is spent, you go offline. What does going offline mean? You're not going to show up on the top of the page on that 3 panel, right? Which is fine because if 2 leads per day is all you need, you can just figure this out within a week to 10 days. You'll figure out what your cost per lead is and whether it's worth your money or not. And then once you set that number, you don't have to worry about being surprised that, oh my God, my ad spend is so high, because you've set the weekly budget and you're just going to go offline. And then again, there's all of the metrics of you can set, when do you want to show the ads? Do you want to show the ads during your business hours? Or do you want to be intelligent in terms of looking at when are people searching for you? And then are homeowners more likely to think about problems that they have in the house that they need to fix when they are not working? So do you want your ads to show in the evenings, maybe over the weekend? So you can determine all of that and you can literally play with the numbers to figure out what the best cost per lead is. But if you want to, let's say, go dominate and conquer an entire market, you can start with a really high budget, look at the quality of leads coming in, determine the cost per lead, and then make a decision of how you want to run it week by week. So you may get a different number of leads from day to day, but the beauty is you will never spend more than your designated weekly budget, right? Which is what, as business owners, we care about. We want to know where our expenses are landing and what is going to happen to our revenue numbers based on the marketing choices that we make. And the other wonderful thing is you have the ability to immediately dispute leads. If you receive a lead that's not valid, if let's say there's a service that you do not provide, you're a kitchen remodeler and somebody messages and says, oh, I read your reviews, will you hang a TV for me? Well, hello, no, we're general contractors, we cannot come by and hang a TV. So then you can just say not valid, and you can choose to dispute that lead. So what leads don't count, right? Solicitation, call was from a wrong number, caller was trying to sell you a product, somebody that's trying to work with you, they didn't discuss your business, they just like rambling on and leaving a message. Spam, like with all of the politics and stuff going on in the world, you can get some pre-recorded voice drops. It's not from a live human. The customer communicated their location and the location isn't listed in your profile, and you declined the job because let's say the geography is like too far for your team to drive out and you're not interested in that business. You have the option to say location not served. Or it's a service like the example that I gave you of hanging a TV when you're a kitchen remodeler. You can say, this really doesn't fit the profile of services that we want to offer. And sometimes they're like, I'm just looking to buy some tiles or shopping for a product, and you really perhaps don't have a showroom. And so then they are not a viable lead for you. So Google's very fair, and there's this time that you have to go into your account, and a good habit is to have a team member assigned to it to go in and check your leads every day, and choose the ones that are fantastic and check them off, and then X out the ones. Immediately you're going to see the credit come back into your local services account. So the feedback that I get from active users is that the low cost per lead than PPC is the pay-per-click, which is the second set of search ads that you see, right there. It's a gamble of, are people searching for the right keyword? Are you showing up when the buyer has the intent to choose you? There's way more variables. So the cost per lead gets to be lower than the PPC. And the lead is way higher quality than Home Advisor or Angie's, because remember, with Home Advisor and Angie's, it's a race to the finish. They get a lead in, they just disperse it to everybody that pays them. And it doesn't matter the quality of the lead or who it is. Whoever races to the finish, calls the lead, has the best offer, closes it. So if you've spent any money on Home Advisor or Angie's, you probably have a list of people that you've gotten as leads, but they're just like hanging out, like you've never had any closure with them. The beauty of this local services ads is the lead is making a choice to click on your business, read about your business, and choose to call you or do business with you. And so it is a more qualified, relevant, pertinent lead that's coming into your business that is not shared with anybody. And you have the ability to say, yes, this is the lead that I want to work with, or you say this is not a good quality lead, and you can X them out and you can get your money back. You still get some price shoppers. You have to follow up quickly if you want to win in the leads game. But there is solid return on investment for most of the clients who I work with who've jumped on board, because like I said, it's a win-win. You're ranking on top, you're Google guaranteed. If it doesn't work out, you're getting your money back. You're not going to spend more than a planned budget that you want. So with Google's goal to have the best high quality data on a search page, they have come up with this idea, which is actually becoming a win-win for both Google in terms of showing the best guaranteed high quality contractors or service providers on Google search when somebody's searching, as well as the business owner gets high quality leads. So why is this a no-brainer for most remodeling contractors? You show up on the top of the results where your clients are looking. You only pay on a lead basis, lower cost per lead than, like I mentioned, the search ads, the PPC ads, higher quality leads than Home Advisor. And again, you can just modify your budget. You can increase it, you can decrease it. If you have team members, added on, you want more jobs, you can just determine what the budget is. You can play around with the numbers. You can determine if the cost per lead makes sense for the jobs that the lead is converting it into. And so it's just a no-brainer. There is no cost to become Google guaranteed. Is it tedious? Yes, it's tedious. Once you get it done, you're Google guaranteed. And if you turn on any dollar amount, you're going to show up till your dollars burn out. And so it's it's an option that Google's providing, that every small business owner who is likely to be found online by somebody searching for your product or service must engage in, right? Because why leave out these high quality leads? So how do you get set up, right? You can work with us. We support you. We get it done. Or you have a team, you want to do it yourself. I'm going to walk you through the whole process. So you'll simply go to local services, you'll sign up. It's going to walk you through all the steps that you need to go through. You need to have a valid account. You need to create your ad and local services profile account. You need to update your license, your insurance details. You need to get verified and background checked. And they're pretty quick. So they'll get back to you as soon as you upload your information as to what they need or what's missing. Or so the only thing that will come up for an annual renewal is the Google's local services platform is intelligent enough in that it will know when if your licenses expire, if your insurance expires, it will immediately cut off your ads, but it will send you a notification saying, hey, your insurance is, it'll actually send you a notification and say 7 more days, your insurance is expiring. If you have a brand new insurance, please upload it. But you're not going to go through the whole process of being guaranteed. So that's kind of the annual renewal kind of a thing that you need to do based on your insurance, but relatively simple. You come in, you upload the document, the platform will read it, immediately it will give you a check mark, and then again, back, boom, you'll be back on the top 3 panel for Google Guaranteed. So how does the ranking work, right? How does it work in terms of you've gotten Google Guaranteed? How do you make sure that you show up on the top 3, right? Because there's obviously a lot of contractors, a lot of remodelers that are local services Google Guaranteed. So how do you make sure that you rank over there? Number one is, of course, geography, because Google's based on geography, your proximity to the potential customers' locations. So, the example we have in here, if you're in Denver, Colorado, somebody searching in Denver, immediately you're going to show up just because you're Google Guaranteed. Your review score and the number of reviews you receive, right? So reviews, there are 2 kinds now. Once you become Google Guaranteed, if you think about your Google business profile, the panel that sits on the 3rd tier of a Google search page, right? Google Guaranteed, PPC ads, your Google business profile. You can have people just come and write reviews on your Google business profile. The moment you're Google Guaranteed, you will have a backend platform where once the job is completed, you'll be able to get a Google Guaranteed verified review. And so now your reviews will be of 2 kinds. One that have been posted by your customers, your raving fans that come to your Google business profile and write about you. And then the Google Guaranteed verified reviews, which will of course all clump up and show us on the same Google business profile panel, but you actually know which one's a Google Guaranteed verified review and which one's a generic Google search review. And not only that, your responsiveness to customer inquiries and requests, how soon you respond to them, right? And think about it. If you're spending any money on Angie's List or Home Advisor, you're already spending money and you're trying to race to the finish. And sometimes you don't get the lead. Here, if you're responsive and you're that kind of a business owner that has a plan in place to respond rapidly to your leads, you can have a text program that texts them back the moment they call. And that right there, you get credit for it. Once you have a really high responsiveness, Google loves that. You're always going to show up on that top 3 panel. Your business hours, right? How are you set up? For the searches that are coming in, do your business hours match? And so in just a week to 10 days, you'll be able to tell what is optimal in terms of the Google local services ads to be sure that you're not losing out on leads. And whether or not you've received serious or repeated complaints about your business, this is invariable. Somebody is not going to be happy, but Google's very fair when it comes to this process of dinging you for complaints. And so this is where you are going to be more diligent in making sure that the quality of lead that you're choosing, having been in business, who you want to serve, who your ideal client is. And so you're just going to make good choices. So the whole experience is just grand for both parties. And so in addition to these ranking factors, Google will spread out the leads you receive over time. This is to prevent you from spending your entire budget early in the budget period, right? Because what if you have like a really high quality, high value lead that's coming up later? So it's not just going to take all your dollars and burn it up and say, okay, boom, now you're offline. It's intelligent enough in that the more you keep telling it, saying not a valid lead, not a valid lead, it has the ability to stretch out your ad dollars for a longer amount of time. And if your ad is generating leads more quickly than your budget can accommodate, you may see your ranking affected or your ad paused temporarily. And that is a good problem to have, because you can say, hey, I'm really getting an influx of high quality leads. Let me go ahead and adjust my dollars, my budget, so then Google shows me more often, right? All of this, it's not a feeling, it's not a team meeting that's determining it. You are going to sit there and have the data. You are going to know that out of the 50 leads that came in, 30 were great, 20 were not great. What was the cost per lead? What time of the day did these leads come in? Would the rest had the response time been faster, could you have closed more of those 30 leads, right? It's going to be very data driven, very data centric, no feeling, maybe thinking, right? You're just going to have bam, have all of those statistics sitting there on the dashboard. So how do you win with local services ads, right? First thing is you need to dial in your service area. So to start, you'll set up your account, you'll get your license verified, your background check done, the owner verified, your insurance uploaded, all of that. That'll take a week. And once you're done with that, you're going to have access to the dashboard. Once you go into the dashboard, you really want to sit down and think about your service area, because Google's going to now start showing you to the service area. So instead of just saying a generic Denver, you actually have an option to sit down and choose zip codes. So the more time you spend in setting up your profile, your budget, the more Google's going to like you, because Google wants relevant, pertinent, in the now information that it can show to its searchers. And so the other thing that you want to do is you want to mark the jobs as booked. Once the job is booked, you'll have an option inside your local services platform to mark the jobs as booked. Deal with the disputes, right? Disputes as in, we see fewer disputes on people saying that they were unhappy with the service, because if there is a business owner that's feeling confident to come in and get Google guaranteed and spend money on local services ads, you've dialed in your business, right? So it's not that people are going to start complaining about you. The dispute is more on the flip side, on your side, where you're saying wasted lead, somebody trying to like sell stuff to me. This is out of my geography. And so that is something that you have to routinely come in and say, not valid lead, not valid lead. And remember, we're talking about an algorithm. There is no human. So the more you're teaching the software, the more you're educating the algorithm over and over again, saying, this is the lead, this is my people, these are my people, these are the Joneses that I want to hang out with. The more you tell the algorithm, the more it's going to feed you those kinds of leads. And once the task is done, once the job is completed, the project is completed, within the local services profile, you have an option to go say, hey, would you be kind enough to review me? And this is something that you can actually have as part of your project completion, where when the task is done, you speak to the homeowner and say, I'm going to send you a request for a review. Would you be kind enough to please leave me a review? And of course, with the hard work you do and the stellar service you provide, if they just write that review right there, you're going to have now a Google guaranteed verified review, which even with 2 Google guaranteed verified reviews, I've seen some of my clients just like bump up on search, right? Because now Google's like, okay, this is really a business that's guaranteed. And now they have verified reviews. I'm going to showcase this business more. And in reporting, you have an option to get to an 85% booking rate. This 85% booking rate will take a little bit of time. Typically, businesses land between 56 to 60% booking rate. And that booking rate is tied by the poor quality leads that you're coming in, right? If you want a higher percent, you want to get higher and higher quality leads. So every day, talking to the local services ads platform, as in just logging in, Xing out the ones that are bad, immediately following up with the ones that are good, and then closing it to the point of becoming a verified review is what will get you to that booking rate. So once you get to that 85% booking rate in reporting, it doesn't matter what your ad spend is. As a percent, once you get to that 85% booking rate and you have reviews, you're going to be unstoppable. You're going to show up on that three panel. You're going to have your phone ringing from the local services ads. So to dial in your profile, what you want to do is you want to set your budget. Open it up if you have the capacity. These are cost effective leads if you think about it, right? You're not really going to just burn dollars and say, oh my God, I spent $3,000 on Facebook ads and what happened to the money, right? These are cost effective leads. If they're not a good lead, you're going to tell Google to refund you the money. And then update your ad schedule, right? Look at it. If you're running ads in the evening, you're running ads during the day, these are the things we can come in and audit and check your profile to be sure that your ad schedules look good. Write a really succinct business bio, because the Google algorithm is reading it and remembering who you are, who you serve, why somebody should choose you. And then select your job types, right? You'll have an option if you're an exclusive ADU, you just do ADUs in California, you can just choose ADUs. And so anybody that's searching in that geography and wants to build an accessory dwelling unit, you're going to show up first. Or if you only do kitchen and bathroom remodeling, then you can choose those job types. So spending some time to set up your profile, really dialing in your profile, will get you those high quality leads. And of course, update your business hours if you have days that you take off, because you don't want to be wasting ad dollars on holidays and stuff. So update your business hours and then add photos. Google loves photos. So once you're inside the local services ads platform, you'll just see an option to add photos. So add real photos. Google doesn't care if they're pretty or shiny, or just grab your phone, take photos of your truck, your team members, a plumbing that you're working on, and just upload those photos. Then Google knows that it's real content uploaded by a business owner. And the more photos you add, the more current your photos are. That's how you again win in the ranking game, because Google's like, okay, they're getting leads, there's photos being uploaded, there's it matches the business type, it matches the type of service they provide. And so those photos are just magic, because Google loves images. So add photos. It might feel like work, but you want to keep your profile updated. And then mark your jobs as booked, right? Google will rate your responsiveness by how well you complete your jobs. Mark them as booked, mark them as scheduled, add customer details, include an email address, and you always have an option to archive the non-converted opportunities, because sometimes you'll leave voicemails, perhaps you'll do an on-site visit, you'll give them an estimate, but it just doesn't close the loop on it. You want to archive your non-converted opportunities, then Google knows exactly what the total cost per lead is, and the platform will continue to work for you. So you go and you get verified, you get your background check done, you go dial in your profile, figure out what your budget is, and then you have a system where you're every day going in and making sure that you're marking your book jobs. You just have a plan in place to dispute. Even though the word dispute kind of sounds scary, you're disputing to your benefit, so you're not losing your ad dollars. So you want to be diligent in making sure that you're saying not a viable lead, not a valid lead, not in my geography, right? And the more you spend time on it and the more diligent you are in doing that, and like I said, if you think about it, if you do the math, if we just set it to, let's say, 2 leads per day, it's not going to be really a lot of your time. And so you can manage that based on what the need of your business is. Perhaps you have a whole team and you want to get in, 15 to 20 leads a day, and somebody has the time to listen to the voicemails and, qualify the lead. So be it, right? So you can determine based on what your business needs are. But the more you communicate with the algorithm, the more the algorithm is going to feed you those relevant, pertinent, perfect leads, qualified leads that can convert into, dollars in the bank. And when you deal with disputes, you won't be charged for disqualified leads. They're outside your area. Like, all those examples I gave you, they're very fair about it, because again, they're not in this to make a fast buck. If you step back, Google's overall goal is to be the world's best search engine, right? That's where this local services ads concept is driving from. So for them, they are not going to nickel and dime a business owner and say, well, we think this is qualified. No, you are the boss. You make the decision. If the lead did not work out, they're not going to contest it. They're just going to give you your credit back. And what you're doing is you're teaching the algorithm that this is not qualified, this is not qualified. And the more you do it accurately, the more true it is, the better you're going to benefit in the high quality leads that Google can generate for you. And like I said, you want to drive verified reviews. Number of reviews is a major driver of your ranking in local services, right? And provide great services always. That's what you do. And you can leverage the dashboard from within the local services ads. You can enter the person's name and email address, and quickly there's a button where you can just click and you can send them a review button. And then if you wanted to like have a team member call and follow up and say, thank you for your business, we've sent you an email, would you be kind enough to leave us a review? Once you have that plan in place, if you get to triple digit reviews on Google, triple digit as in 100 plus reviews on Google, be it verified or be it just on search, there's a magic that happens. Once you get to 50, you will see the organic leads that are coming in. If you get to 100 leads, your phone's just organically going to ring. But if your local services verified, Google guaranteed, and you're getting those verified reviews from guaranteed leads, and you're spending money on ads, you're, like I said, you're just going to be unstoppable. So you want to use the request review option from within the platform, because once you log into the platform, you'll be able to tell that they are not just a review, they're a Google guaranteed verified review. And the algorithm knows, right? The more of those you get, Google's going to love your business more and more. So here's a screen grab, right? So 16 leads, budget spent. Usually, like I said, it lands between 56 to 60%. And this is where you want to target and 85% booking rate. And this will happen if you're really diligent about logging in and communicating with the platform. And once you get to that 85%, you have a few verified reviews, your profile's optimized, you got your photos in, your licenses, everything's new. You're just going to be showing up on that top 3 panel. So some ways to increase your lead flow once you get into this game is to open up your budget, right? You can, if you're spending $1,000, try spending a little bit more and see if that helps you, because it's not forever, right? And for sure, it's not wasted money. You always have the option to dispute and claim your money back. And expand your service areas, your job types, your ad schedule, your business hours, right? There's several options within the platform that you can play around with. And it's really important that you close out every lead. Booked, scheduled, archived, disputed, right? Whatever it is, the disputed ones will go into the archived as well. And again, I'm repeating myself, you just want to request verified reviews on every job because Google loves reviews. So what you should do now, you can either work with our team and we can sign you up where you can complete your background checks. You put the tracking in place to gauge the return on investment. Be sure that you're leveraging the platform to close the jobs and the updates. Play the game while the return on investment makes sense, right? The longer you try it out, the more of a budget you have, it's really going to help you. And this is where, you're going to be engaging in one piece of the digital dominance method. And the more of these pieces that you do, you identify the ones that are best for you, and then you do more and more of it. That's where you're going to have a steady stream of leads coming in. So at this time, if you're interested in having what I call a snapshot report of how the Google algorithm is perceiving your business online, you can simply go to growthplancall.com and schedule 30 minutes with me. I'll meet you on Zoom. I'll walk you through, no sales, no pressure call where we'll quickly review what the opportunities are. And if you have a team member that can do it, you can go ahead and start working with them and take it from there. So just go to growthplancall.com and you can schedule some time with me. So this was a pleasure. I hope you will dive into the benefits of local services ads for your business and work on getting your business Google guaranteed. Take care. Bye.